Welcome back. We're talking with Shah Rukh Khan, one of India's biggest stars in Bollywood, the Indian film industry. Now, we were talking before the break about Hollywood's influence in Bollywood. An email, if I may put it to you, that came in from a viewer called Bob Larrabo in California in the USA says, no matter where you go, people want to see Hollywood productions. What are you doing to bring Bollywood up to that level? What has to happen to make Bollywood productions as popular as Hollywood films in the global market?
I think two or three things. One, we have to make our films less lengthy because you can't keep on going to the loo, and the Westerners are not used to that. I've seen a lot of films and they're like, oh, you have a break? I say, yeah, you need to go for a smoke, you need to go to the loo and stuff. And I think we need to shorten the film. The language that our films are rendered in have to change. Our language is still, I was speaking to some great screenplay writer in America, and he said, you have too many entries and exits, which is true. So the language has to change a bit so that, see, I always equate it to being, invited to this really upper-class British party. I have to dress up the way they do. Everybody's not Gandhiji. You have to dress up and go down there and follow the rules. So if I'm going into a party, if you have to go to world cinema like Hollywood has, then you have to dress up like them. I always tell all my filmmaker friends. So I think the length will have to shorten, the language will have to go down, and the marketing will have to leave to the Western world. And when I say language, I may also add, I think Hindi language is not a problem really. The songs will have to remain because that's the USP, but they'll have to get a little more realistic because I think the Western world has lost touch with musicals. These 3-4 things, but the length most important, the language and screenplay. We don't have in India great screenplay writers. See, the business part of it, I'm sure the Western world will handle. They're all here. I'm sure they will market it, they'll do, I've met all of them, they're fantastic with that. They will take it to the world audience. But we will have to 100% work a lot on our screenplay. Our storytelling technique, the storytelling is good, the technique will have to, I think it's a science in the West and we haven't really conquered it yet here.
I ask a lot of Western, Hollywood stars when I interview them, if they have reached a point in their lives where they have complete freedom over their craft, they can pick and choose. Is it the same kind of situation in Bollywood?
Yes, you have, 100%. But freedom always seems like this for every star, and I can even say it for the Western stars. It's always from the outside. Inside, stars and actors and all the creative people are immensely insecure. So you do succumb to, you may say, I'm free to choose whatever, but finally you choose, in a strange sense, in a parameter of success. I'm going to choose this, but I hope it's successful. I hope it's the next summer blockbuster. It's the Christmas blockbuster. So I think those parameters really don't give you that kind of freedom. But yeah, I produce my own films now. Whenever I feel like being lavish and silly to make a film, and they always flop. Like say for the last two, they were big hits. I just choose a film and I say, okay, I'll just go with it and let's see what happens. I produce them. But yeah, I think stars have a lot of freedom in India. The star system is very strong here.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you another email here that came in from Akhtar Sheikh in Paris, in France, who wrote in saying, we recently heard that a Paris museum is making a wax statue of you. How does it feel to be the only Indian, besides Gandhi, to be honored in such a way? And were you surprised that you had so many fans in France?
Oh, I was very, I've been taken aback twice. I've been there. The statue is already installed there in Grevin. I don't know how to pronounce it, Grevin, Grevin Museum. And it was beautiful because I had my six-pack then. So they've done it with that. They came and did it in London with these laser machines. And I'd been there twice, once before for releasing my film. And the whole Champs-Élysées was chock-a-block with a lot of actually people from Afghanistan, Arabs, Tunisians, and some Europeans also. I have a huge, strangely, I don't know, the Germans seem to like my films. So a lot of Germans and some French people also.
So this was six-pack, because they like Baywatch too.
This was before the six-pack. I haven't gone there after the six-pack, except to, well, it was very sweet actually. They had little Indian dancing and stuff there, and it was really nice to be next to Mahatma Gandhi. It's a great honor, and honor with a great sense of happiness.
It's interesting, before we went with the show, started recording the show, I was talking to you about some of the stereotypes that occur around the world, and one of course is the Muslim stereotype. You have the name Khan, which in America, for example, stops you at the borders. Now you've had a few experiences there too.
Yeah, I'm always stopped. I have the 4 S's on my boarding pass. I'm frisked, and there are times when I feel it, I wish I liked being frisked by men. But it doesn't work that way. But the big guys and the big booming voices, and sometimes, yeah, they do get angry. And it is I know it's an American show, but I mean, it's going to America. But I like to tell you, it has started making me feel a little wary, aware, and reluctant to go or travel to and fro in America. I get frisked a lot, and my kids get frisked a lot, and I understand and I fully respect if you have the kind of destruction of the magnitude that America has faced, and which is very sad. I'm completely for all kind of checks, and I'm completely for being a little over the top with it. But personally, it's like, I wish it didn't happen. I wish it, to be honest, my name is Khan, I'm Shah Rukh, and I'm a Muslim, I'm educated, and I'd like to tell everyone around the world, and I'm sure a lot of people watch this, that, terrorists need not be only Islamic, and they don't have a religion. It's a thing which is cliche now. We keep saying it, and I think the educated Muslims should educate everyone, including America, about the fact that just because your name is, Rizwan Khan, you don't need to be frisked. Yeah. So I'm not traveling with you, that's for sure.
That would be a double trouble. The interesting thing is that in Hollywood, though, that there's been a criticism that the negative stereotyping of Muslims, has perpetuated that stereotype. Has anything like that ever entered into, Indian film culture?
Well, we cannot, see, American films have a stereotype because, it's a parameter. It's very clear. It's a bad guy. He's going to speak a little like that. This is a bad guy, a little dumb also normally. Being a film guy, I've got nothing against stereotypes, so I will not take a stand against that. I think it's a film, you do it, it's quick. Black guys who wear black are bad, guys who wear white are good. We don't need to explain it to you, but we've been doing it in India. Every film we do, Pakistanis are always the bad guys, and I find it wrong. So the film that I made about 2 years back, I wanted to say the terrorist guy or the bad guy is an Indian guy, and he's not even an Indian. He is without a state. And but we have, and it works. We always say Pakistanis are bad. My family, half my family is from Pakistan, so I get very disturbed with this. I keep my kids. I tell everyone, listen, can we just stop stereotyping? See, film is okay, but we have started stereotyping it in reality, which is sad.
Interestingly enough, we had an email, if I may put this, from Peter Ashcroft in the USA, saying, can you influence fundamentalism to our advantage? I think by that he means, is it possible for someone like you who has popular appeal to help counter the negative sway that perhaps the extremists have over a young population, young Muslims and so on?
Well, I tried in my small way. See, people do give too much credit to film actors, especially in India. I truly believe that I'm 43, I just turned 43, and I wear makeup to work. And that can't make me really, we can't really be very smart guys. Makeup, so it's not really, people start assuming you're very smart. People start assuming you are, but it may not be true for every actor. I don't think it's true for me. But I do try in my small way. So I'd say it in Urdu or Hindi, where I do a small little scene where I'll say, "Main Bhagwan se dua mangta hu," which is a mix of both religions. I tell all the youngsters in this country, whenever I do an interview, that listen, the new religion has to be about work and work ethics. It doesn't have to be about Islam. It doesn't have to. My wife's Hindu, and my kids do the namaz. They read the Gayatri Mantra. They do everything together. We do it as a family. So I keep trying to do that even through the work. I keep creating characters who speak that. Whether the last film I was Kabir Khan, which is the first time I played a Muslim guy with a set of bunch of 30 Hindu girls, and he speaks their language. He does their religion, and so far, the most secular part about this business is I'm a Muslim in a Hindu country and people love me. So I think I try to put that and tell everyone, see, if you accept this, and I think the youth understands that, as long as they don't get taken in by, agendas of politicians, I think they understand that.
Sometimes it's hard as a star to get, not to get roped into politics. Recently you were given the Datuk title in Malaysia, the knighthood, like Sir, actually Sir Shah Rukh Khan, and you actually weren't able to go there, or you refused to go at the time they wanted you to go, and it created a stir. How do you handle this when you get roped into what sounds like a political situation?
No, it's not like that. Actually, initially when they gave it, I heard somewhere, I was there in Malaysia, and I said, I come now. And they said, no, there were some people who didn't think I should get it. And I'm like, okay, I don't really deserve to be given a title like that. And when we reworked the dates, I'm going on the 5th actually. And it was just as much as like, if you tell me, Shah Rukh, can we do the interview on 29th? And I said, no, can we do it on the 3rd? So that's the only discussion I've had officially. But I'm part of media, so we do exaggerate a lot. We do a lot of overacting. So I guess it just gets blown out of this. I have learned to just accept it with a smile and say, okay, I'll be there on the 5th, everything will be resolved, 7 people will ask me this, and I'll say, listen, it was just an adjustment of time because I have a new movie releasing, and that's it.
Well, Shah Rukh Khan, there's always more questions than there is time, so thank you very much for giving us
Thank you, Riz. Thank you for coming over. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being with us. On tomorrow's show, we talk to a diverse group of youth about the future of India and the issues affecting their lives. And then all next week, join us as we come to you live from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, looking at issues such as censorship of the media and arts. We'll be at this special time of 1400 hours GMT. From me and the team here in Mumbai and in DC, see you next time.